Hey guys, this is Rasta Moshe, a Rasta mechanic. Tonight I'm going to show you how to remove intimidating spark plugs on the Honda Odyssey 2012. Before I go into that, I should first get to prepare you with the tools that are required to do this job successfully. This is the engine that I'm going to be working on tonight. It's a 3.5 liter engine. That's a Honda Odyssey 2012. And it's a 6-cylinder, like I said. At front here, you have 3 cylinders by the front of the hood. And then at the back, you do have also 3 plugs on each cylinder. And those are the normally ones. Those are the ones most of the time that intimidate people, including myself. So before we get into that, here are the tools that you need to have in order to do this job successfully. For a start, here what you need. You need a flat screwdriver. It's going to be very, very important as we remove that cover. Next thing you're going to need is a 3-inch extension, and then a 6-inch extension, and this is the 5/8 spark plug socket remover. It's very important. This one, you need to have the one that has either a magnet inside or a rubber that could hold on a plug as you try to remove it. And then you need a 10 millimeter socket. Very, very important. This is the one that we kind of like always use on this 3-inch socket. And finally, you need your ratchet. Very important. In order to do this job, first thing you need to do is remove this cover. Normally, this cover has only two screws here into there. You undo this, and your cover will come off. Okay. Once your covers has come off, it gives you an opportunity to actually see what's in the front over here, front of the hood. If you pay attention carefully, you're gonna notice that the 3 cylinders at the front, I'll start from this one here near the oil filler. This is your coil, and under that coil, that's where you have your spark plug inside the engine over there. So you have 3 of them here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and in order to get access to the 3, you first take off this 10 millimeter nuts, and then the coil just comes out easily, no issues. The same way at the back over that side, we do the same at the back. Though at the back is very intimidating, but I can assure you it's doable. I was a little bit intimidated tonight, and I decided, you know what, I have nothing to lose. I'm gonna go ahead and get it done. So it's kind of very difficult to get it done up there, like I said, but all you need is this guy nicely locked in. You really need to have a very firm extension that locks into this socket, because once you drop something behind over that side, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to pull it out or put a nut. Okay, in the same place at the back, what I use at first, that 10 millimeter nut, 10 millimeter socket, and my 3-inch extension, and here we go. So these are the tools you need to do at the back. So it's the same way. You just follow this thing. It just goes straight. That just lined up, from here to there, it's just lined up straight. And when you get at the back, right there at the back, you don't have a lot of space. You only have maximum of like 3, maybe 4 inches. That's your working space between the top of the coil and the firewall. So you gotta be very, very careful, like I said, not to drop anything. So you first start with the 10 millimeter nut, just like right here. You find it over there. you just scoot your hand in here. You just have to be patient. Just put your hand and feel. Mostly it's just by feeling. Do not be scared. It's doable. Once you find the 10 millimeter, loosen it with your ratchet, and then your coil will just come out just like that, easily. You do not need to remove the wires out of the coil. You can still work with the wires while connected. Okay. The only time you can remove the coil, if you really want to remove that coil, only if it's really gone, it's bad, then you have no choice but to remove the coil and replace it. So that's how we do it at the back. The front is going to be the same way. Again, you remove this first nut, and then we'll be lifting this coil. So I'm going to jump right into it and get back to you. All right, folks, we are back again to removing the front section of the front part of the Honda or the engine. I must emphasize that taking those spark plugs at the back, the most difficult part is just the spacing. And I would recommend, if you do this job, you must make sure that the whole engine is cooled down, because I found myself having those opportunities of like laying down, putting my hands on the engine, meaning you could not do this job if this was hot. So make sure before you try to do this job, let the whole engine cool down so that you can have room to lay down or to put your hands in here while you're playing around at the back. The back part is the most difficult part. You may have certain position where you have to move the hose a little bit out of the way, like this hose here, this hose and that other air line there, or I think that should be like the AC lines. Those are always on the way, but it will save you a lot of money to do it by yourself than going to the mechanic. So now I'm going to be working on the front part here. I have 3 coils and 3 spark plugs by the front engine of the vehicle. Another thing that I observed is when I'm removing these spark plugs, you will find that they have a longer, very long threading. So do not give up. You keep on unscrewing and screwing and screwing until it comes out. It will get out. So the one that I'm removing, like you can see, they are really gone. NGK, they are NGK iridiums. I was having a lot of misfire, like you can see here on my cylinder number 3. This was not firing. I'm gonna try to remove the new one. I show you how the brand new one looks like, so you can have a comparison. Just give me a second here. So that's a brand new, basically brand new iridium. If you can look at it, it's nice and clear, brand new, and I hope it's firing. Comparing to the one that I removed over there, yeah, definitely that was gone. So coming to the front side again, like I said, locate the 10 millimeter nut over there. This is the one you need to unscrew in order for yourself, in order to make it easy to remove that coil. Just a couple of turns to the left, you should be able to remove the 10 millimeter nut. It's a little bit dark here, but I'll try my best. I'll remove the dipsticks because dipstick is on my way. Gonna take it out of my way here so we can have room. Yeah, so that's a 10 millimeter nut that I took out. I'm taking out there. Okay, that's your 10 millimeter nut. As you can see, that 10 millimeter nut holds the coil for that cylinder. And like I said in the previous video at the back there, you just shake this a little bit. Normally the coil just comes out easily. It's supposed to come out, come on. Hold on a second there. Well, looks like we may have a little bit of challenge here, but again, that shouldn't be an issue. If it gives you a problem, you can remove this pin over here on these wires. There's a pin right here. Just press that section. That way the whole wire assembly can come off the way. That will give you enough room to take out the coil, because I noticed like we have like what 3-4 inches spacing over here. All right, I'm gonna pause here a little bit so that I can remove the plug. I can't use one hand, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I want to show you, this is our coil. This is the coil for that cylinder. Like I was saying, the room was not enough here for me to pull out the coil while it's still holding on to its wire. So I decided to take out the connector. That way it's going to give me enough room to get into that cylinder and remove that spark plug out of there. Doing this job, like I said, it's very, very important you have good tools. The magnetic plug socket is very, very, very important. All you have to do is just slide it in there, and then you should be able to pull out that spark plug. When that one is done, we'll go to the next one here, and then the final one. All right, folks, that's the last. Now I'll be going to do the last plug out. I just removed the plug out of the last hole over there. You see there, that's your cylinder, the last cylinder. And after that, don't worry about the other bigger hole. The other bigger hole is for the oil filler. Like as you can see, there's my oil filler cup over there. So that little hole you see down there, that's our last spark plug for tonight, and it's already hooked up to the socket and the extension. Once I lock it in there, I'll finally tie the 10 millimeter nut over there, and then we should be good to go. The last thing that will need to be put on top over here is just the cover itself. Other than that, again, this work on this Honda Odyssey at times intimidating. I must confess to you that even as an experienced mechanic as I am, when I first looked at it this morning, I was like, crap, do I have time for this? No, I don't have time. So I kind of like thought of taking it to a shop. Maybe some guy is gonna figure it out there, but then I thought about it, like how much does it cost me to buy one iridium spark plug? It just costs like $7, and invest yourself like 30 minutes. You can do this rather than taking it to a shop where they'll do this job in 30 minutes, and then you end up paying between $300 to $500. So I thought this was a good project for me for tonight. I'm just gonna put the covers back here and start running. Thanks for watching. If you like it, if you like what you've seen here, you can follow me once I post this on YouTube.